The FBI politicized their investigation, working with the CIA and handpicked intelligence in order to help the Hillary Clinton campaign's main theme. I could list to you 1,000 different pieces of evidence that have been known for a long time. But when Donald Trump named Tulsi Gabbard DNI, it was amazing to watch the Democratic Party freak out because the Democrats were voting for a lot of Trump nominees unanimously, like Marco Rubio and others like that. They were totally fine with them, even though they were a long-term Republican Party conservative. No problem with them. The person they had the biggest problem with, one of the people, was Tulsi Gabbard. Even though she spent 8 years as a Democratic member of Congress, she had supported Bernie Sanders, she endorsed Joe Biden in 2020. Why? Because they knew that she was an outsider and that her intention was to go into the CIA and go into the National Intelligence State and expose the corruption that was oozing all through it. Whereas even more reliable career people who come from there aren't willing to rock the boat that way. Even if they're more loyal to Trump, they're still institutionalists. Her doing this is why they were petrified. Remember, Hillary Clinton called Tulsi Gabbard a Russian agent. They were calling everybody a Russian agent. They still are calling her a Russian agent. The thing is, you need the documents and the transparency and the facts to really make the historical case in a totally definitive way. And that's what's new. That's what we're now getting. These kind of details showing exactly which actors in these agencies deliberately disregarded the intelligence that undermined their case and highlighted the intelligence that they wanted to promote as a political narrative. This is the kind of extreme abuse of power that is as threatening to American democracy as anything they've accused Donald Trump of doing. This is deliberate interference in our elections, using the secret parts of our agency, disseminating lies. And here's the problem. These intelligence agencies do bad things, and people at the time stand up and say it. Most of the evidence is hidden. So you get called a conspiracy theorist or there's no evidence. The evidence only comes out years later. And by which point it comes out, like now, and you want to say, hey, here's the proof. Let's look at that. People are like, why are you talking about 2016? That was 8 years ago. True. We have so many other things. This is irrelevant. The media will not cover this. And you know why? Because I consider the media to be the primary culprits. Without them abdicating their role of oversight of these intelligence agencies and being journalistically skeptical of what they were being told, they were more eager than anybody to close ranks with Hillary's campaign and the intelligence agencies. They gave themselves Pulitzers for this totally fraudulent reporting. To this day, they're proud of the role they played, even though, other than I'm sure Russia did do some interference. Big countries interfere in each other's domestic politics all the time. That was never the scandal. The scandal was the collusion between Trump and Russia. And even the extent of the Russian involvement was completely exaggerated to the point where we now question whether they really did do the hacking. The problem is it's going to be confined to shows like this. Don't expect the New York Times and NBC News and the rest of them to take any of this seriously. They're going to run cover for it, which is why the New York Times published that Brennan Clapper op-ed, because they are as guilty as anybody.